Spurs linked with a La Liga star, an update on Eze, and could Spurs pull off a transfer for a ready now Ligue 1 star? Here are your daily Tottenham news headlines. Hello, my name's Craig and here are your daily Tottenham news headlines. Let's get into it. Fabrizio Romano on Are Tottenham set to step up their interest in signing Eberechi Eze? He says Tottenham love Eze. He's on the list for sure, but no final decision has been made yet. According to Spanish outlet Cadena Ser, Spurs have now registered their interest in Real Madrid forward Rodrigo. Rodrigo is unhappy at Real Madrid right now owing to frustrations in his game time, a player who is no longer an undisputed starter. It's stated that Real would ask for around £77 million for the Brazilian this summer, a fee that would gazump the £65 million that Spurs paid for Solanke last summer. However, if Rodrigo could be convinced to join Tottenham this summer, Daniel Levy would surely have no issue breaking the club's transfer record once again. Give Me Sport report that Fulham's Rodrygo Muniz is a player on Spurs' radar and the club are preparing an approach for the 24-year-old this summer. Muniz registered 8 goals in the Premier League throughout last season and it's thought that Fulham would demand £50 million for his signature. The report goes on to say that the forward would be keen on a move to North London this summer after Marco Silva's side rejected a £32 million bid from newly promoted Leeds last week. TBR Football understands that Spurs are set to rival Arsenal to sign Christian Nørgaard. Thomas Frank is understood to want the Brentford midfielder to join Spurs this summer. Goal are reporting that Tottenham Hotspur have opened talks with West Ham over the signing of Mohammed Kudus. They go on to say that Spurs have not met the £65 million valuation West Ham place on the player, however. And Give Me Sport are quoting an article from Get Football News in Italy stating that Tottenham Hotspur have now entered talks to sign Lille striker Jonathan David, who is out of contract this summer. Napoli and Juventus are also actively trying to secure his signature, but Tottenham's involvement has now slowed down their progress in trying to bring him to Italy. David scored 16 league goals last season while averaging 2.3 shots per game. The Canadian international has also been labelled as one of the best strikers in the world, meaning it could be a real bargain for Spurs if they get a deal over the line. Okay, well, here's my thoughts on all those stories today. Firstly, the Romano Eze links again. Obviously, these Eze links are not going to go away anytime soon. We know the club like Eze, we know the club wants Eze, and as far as we are aware, Eze wants Tottenham, so it's just a case of getting this deal done. This is going to rumble on for a little bit yet, but everybody who's watched the channel will know that I love Eberechi Eze, and I think he's one of the players we need to be going for this summer. This next one, Rodrigo from Real Madrid. That would be an interesting purchase, that really would. He is a quality player, and when we're talking about quality, this is the sort of player we should be going for. 77 million though. Is Daniel Levy going to pay out £77 million on a player? You'd think that could probably be reduced, but is Daniel Levy going to break the club transfer record to sign Rodrigo if this is true? I mean, he's a great player. I'd love to see him at Tottenham, but let's see how that one plays out. Not a guaranteed starter at Real. I get that. But come on, are Spurs going to put together 77 million? Get down in the comments, let me know what you think on that one. Muniz from Fulham, the £50 million apparently. Again, not sure about this one. Obviously had a really good season last year for Fulham. £50 million seems a bit steep, but the prices people are quoting now for players, it's just unbelievable. You know, if you're going to want a player, you've got to pay the money basically, and Fulham aren't going to take a cut price deal for him, you would imagine, because he's one of their most important players and they wouldn't want to lose him on the cheap. Nørgaard, again 31-year-old from Brentford. I said the other day that I can't see Spurs going for Nørgaard. Obviously Frank will like the player because he played under him at Brentford. I can't see this deal going through, but you never know with Tottenham, you really never know. It seems out of the criteria of player that Spurs tend to go for at the moment. They tend to either bring in, well, as we all know, they bring in the youngsters at the moment. We haven't had any experience come through the door, but let's see where that one goes. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about that one. Nørgaard to Spurs, would that interest you? Kudus again, West Ham, 65 million, far too high for a player, for the player in my opinion. I'm not sure about this one. Again, that price has almost got to be cut in half for me. Good player, but certainly not 65 million. And finally, Jonathan David. This one would really interest me. People have been poo-pooing Jonathan David. I think he is a quality player. That would be real competition for Solanke up front, in my opinion. If we sign Jonathan David, obviously on a free, 16 Ligue 1 goals last year. I think he could do a real job for Spurs, and as I say, it would be real competition for Solanke up front. Anyway, get down in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on all those stories today. Come on, you Spurs.